See, the mystery is how everybody is I am. But I just finish this. I am, you see, everybody is I am. But when everybody says I am, they make it personal. Oh, I am Burt. You see, but where is this coming from? This I amness of being Burt. It is coming a very, very small point, a small box, but it's not coming from me, because everybody comes up with this idea of me. So where is this me idea coming from? It is coming from being misinterpreted. In the same way with fear. How many times we fear loneliness? Loneliness has killed many people. Loneliness has driven people insane. Loneliness has committed many crimes. Loneliness has brought tremendous diseases and sickness and violence. But where does loneliness come from?
The ego's interpretation.
The ego's interpretation of the allness.
Right.
But when you don't know you are all, you feel so alone. I'm separate. Everything is against me, because then you give it your own judgment and everything else, and it becomes the greatest fear. But the greatest fear is the highest love. Because nothing is separate. You see? So everything is coming from this awareness. Once you understand fully, you grasp that you are this awareness, but not awareness of something, because that is the world. You don't deny that, of course, that's a becoming process. But I am aware. Not aware of something, I am awareness itself. That makes possible for me to experience. That makes seemingly Burt appear as an ego and experiencing the world. Which causes the greatest pain there is to humanity is not fear of death, it is loneliness. You see, for example, fear of death doesn't really exist. We don't fear death. We fear the belief in death. Do you understand? Yeah. Because death itself is just going to sleep. Just like going to, Yeah.
Earlier when you said turn attention on attention itself.
Mm-hmm.
You said that, yes. I have an image or an understanding of you asking the eyes to look at itself.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. But the eyes cannot see themselves.
Exactly.
Right. So they need a mirror. That's the becoming process.
Right.
However, there is something internal called self-recognition. The silence that we are, the center that we are, the being that we are, recognizes itself when we quiet ourselves down. So when we enter the alpha brainwave level through stillness, you see, which is the only true meditation there is, okay, when we quiet ourselves down, we are able to see that I am awareness, but not aware of something. I'm just attention on attention itself. It is seeing of the totality of it all. Everything that I experience is just a becoming, is just a process, just the world comes and goes, beginning and ending. But I am. And that I am cannot die because it never existed. It just existence itself. It just is. You see? Now, when you become totally quiet, totally silent, totally still, there is a movement that recognizes this, that feels this. And that feeling, knowing, begins the recognition of who you are. You see? No, but you are not something. You cannot pinpoint it, you cannot smell it, you cannot touch it. You see? But you are, you just are, and that's when the ego dies. Tell your throat, we shall never cease from exploration. But at the end of all our exploring, we shall arrive at where we started. But know that place for the first time. Do you understand? So we go around and around and around, active, seeking, becoming, until we realize, what are we becoming? What do we really want? The being, which we already are. So that's the circle. But we do not recognize it. You see, the child is innocent and pure. but he hasn't got the ability to recognize yet. So he goes through the stage, the teenage stage, for example. Teenage stage is one of the most difficult stages to be in, because that's when the ego takes hold of you completely. You see, people reach 13, 14, 15, 16. It's a very difficult time, because that's when the ego becomes very, very solid, you see, and separate. But you might say, but why does this have to be? Well, it's not a matter of why has it got to be, but the thing is that an innocent child doesn't have the ability to recognize until there is suffering and seeing that which doesn't work. You see? Because suffering doesn't work. Unlovingness doesn't work. Effort doesn't work. What works is love. What works. But when I say love, what I mean is that there is no you. That's what I mean by love. There is this all-encompassing oneness, presence. You see? That's what love is.
I think what it's been like for me is to, when I look for that, is not finding anybody there, finding nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an emptiness that I come.
Yeah, that's the shock. If you're experiencing this, oh God, you are in a beautiful stage now. Now go through that, because there is a fear. A fear comes to you when you begin to see nothing. That scares the living daylights out of you.
Yeah,
If you allow it and go deep into it, plunge into it, drown into it, then it takes over. And when it takes,
comes in.
was that?
That's when love comes in.
That's when love comes in, and then you begin to realize how glorious it is, because then you begin to experience a joy, a love that is so grand. But the people then become all parts of you.